Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once again to a fabulous episode of Stories Around Azeroth. As always, I am Pete Titans Creed Nethercoat, joined by the wonderful Mr. Frazley Tastic. And we have a special guest this week. We are joined by the wonderful and delectable one, Panda Gosa. How are you today, my darling?
I am wonderful. Thank you.
Brilliant stuff. Mr. Frazley, how are you on this week?
I am doing awesome. When I can get power to my camera, everything is great.
When everything works, everything is fine.
Yes.
Everything is awesome, as they say. Well, it's been an interesting week in the world of Warcraft. There is a little bit of news which I think everybody might be interested in regarding a couple of hot fixes coming in with an upcoming patch. But, as always, let's talk about what we've got up to in this world of Warcraft this week. Panda, since you are joining us, how about you tell us, what have you been up to around Azeroth this week?
I've actually been avoiding the horrific visions because I'm kind of scared of them, and I don't really have a lot of people to do them with, so...
Okay.
I've been mainly focusing on trying to get the warglaives for my demon hunter.
Yep.
And I don't have a lot of tunes to run that on, so after that I kind of mix it up and I go on the mount run to get the Elagon mount.
Elagon, yeah, yep. On
Yes.
the 5th, yep.
The little celestial dragon, and that's pretty
Yeah.
much it. And then I run off and play a very
Overwatch.
frustrating game of Overwatch.
That being frustrating is a big reason why I stopped playing that. I'll be completely honest with you.
Yeah.
Mr. Frazley, what have you been up to this week? I know you've been a busy boy.
Yes, I am now a fool for love. So I got the final achievement for the Valentine's Day Love is in the Air thing. So I can now be the love fool, and that was interesting because I had to go into Arathi Basin. I had to pity the fool at the Arathi Basin blacksmith. I had to go to different places, and let me tell you, getting those charms to get to the faction leaders takes a lot. I did find out if you're doing that, Eye of Azara is a great place to farm those because those Naga and all those different things, they love giving you love charms. Even the turtles. It's weird. I've killed the turtles all throughout BFA, yet they will give me a love charm. I'm like, wouldn't you hate him right now? Like, wouldn't it be a thing that says Frazley's killed all these turtles? Do not give him any love charms.
Yeah, but
He's the
when it comes to BFA, the reason you're getting love charms from BFA is because you've helped a lot of turtles get to the water, so they're just reciprocating that love.
But then I killed them in that one world quest. Or
We
they
don't
not
talk
know
about
it's
that.
me.
We don't talk about that.
Okay. So good. So I'm not ruined all my karma with the turtles by killing them in one quest that we're not talking about at all.
No, we're not talking about that. But
Okay.
you've done some other stuff this week, haven't you? That's a
Yes,
little outside of your wheelhouse.
I did my first heroic dark share with Capo, got a 460 legs upgrade, ran Vision with Michael and Capo,
Mm-hmm.
but yesterday ran LFR with Michael, Sai, Spaz, and Capo, and we all went into LFR. I died twice on a 3-boss wing. I died twice.
That's not bad. You know, I do heroics, mate, and in 3 bosses, people die way more than that sometimes, or the raid wipes because of certain mechanics. How did you find it?
I thought it was really cool, and I liked, especially on the second one, where you had to work with the tanks to figure out what you saw. I was like, that's a cool and unique mechanic, because it really brought in communication. And in LFR, it actually worked because people were communicating in LFR. So that was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But you enjoyed it. Are you going to do any more
yeah.
FR in the future?
Absolutely. I think I might hold off until I need it for a quest or stuff, because it's nice doing it with people and you're just by yourself and you get that one person in raid who's just awful. I have started using global ignore list. So if I just see somebody in raid chat saying mean things, I put it on for a 30-day expiration.
Yeah.
And I never see that person after those 30 days.
But I think you said about doing it for a quest. I believe the final wing opens next reset for you guys on Tuesday. So you've got the quest to kill Ny'alotha, I believe.
That's right, and that gives a 460, I think, or at least...
No, it's just Azerite. It's just Azerite power, and you got the cutscenes that you get for finishing the instance.
Okay, the ones that we don't know if they're true or not. So
yes, depending on how you interpret the story. Yeah, that's pretty true.
Oh, you should have heard on another pot. No. I can't say anything more on what I was about to say. So later this week, you'll know what I was about to say. But carry on.
No, it's fine. You mentioned about that you were farming Elegon Panda. Are you a bit of a mount hoarder, or do you just go for the ones that you like?
I'm definitely a mount hoarder. I still enjoy, like, a lot of people are like, oh yeah, I'm a mount hoarder and I'll add this one to the collection of the mounts that I never use again. And I'm just like, I still love my friendship moose. Like, I just got it yesterday, and then I tell everybody the story, and then I cry, and
That's it, isn't it?
yeah, it's like, oh, I enjoy the game so much, and I love it so much that I'm just like, I want to get like all the things done one day.
Yeah.
It just feels like there's too much to do on one character sometimes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's why I break it all up. That's why I have too many characters.
Yeah. That's something we'll definitely talk about shortly. I myself have been stupidly involved with the game this week.
Oh, you were telling us about that.
Yeah, so it was a discussion. So Frazley knows that I go for all the mounts. I think my go on, say it.
I'm saying
Yep. So I believe it on one character. I'm over 450 now on one character, and I have like 500 on the whole account for the some horde mounts I have. But you know, obviously the big one that I'm after is the one for doing Mythic 15s in time. And this week is a very good week if you've got a good group that can do it. So just to put it in perspective, last week was boss week, but it had bolstering on trash, which means that if you kill another mob closer to another mob before and they don't die together, then it will buff it with attack, health, and everything else. So this week it's literally it's trash week, so they've got increased health, but every time you kill a mob, there's a bursting stack. So with no boosted boss health, which is generally where it is, I can tell you that we've gone from 115 in time last week to this week we just need 2 left to do. And we've spent most of today trying to get lucky with the right key, and it just isn't happening. So we're just helping other people get the stuff they need done. So we're just praying for what's the keys we need? Motherlode and King's Rest. But it's a super easy week for it this week. Like, it feels like, just in comparison. And next week it's horrible. But at least next week we'll be going for the Ny'alotha meta. So that'll be another mount done in the bag and everything else. And yeah, I think that's about it. Probably the odd Mythic Plus here or there. And then obviously rank 12 on the Legendary Cloak next week, which is going to be ridiculous because it comes with a buff that's like a stat potion every 50 seconds is what the RPPM works out to. So it's going to be ridiculous, and it's really going to help pushing those high-end horrifics. So it's good. It's absolutely good. Speaking of horrifics, there is a hotfix coming into the game on whatever it is your weekly reset. So you two are on the US, aren't you? You're on US servers.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. So they're basically doing catch up for everything up to rank 11, essentially. So there was a small bug that happened this week where some people were getting more drops of the second step of the cloak for doing another side. And it was a very, very rare bug, but what they've initiating is that if you do to both corrupted and both lost areas, then you'll get double the pages. Like, you'll get up to 4 pages rather than up to 2, which is really good. It's a really good catch-up mechanic. I wish they'd change that for the beginning one as well. So, like, you'd be able to, if you did more of a clear, you get more pages as well. Because that would not only help alts that can do no mask clears, but also main characters who don't have as high gear level as heroic and mythic raiders as well to push. So yeah, it's going to be interesting coming into it. They're also increasing coalition vision drops, and they're allowing the keys to not have a max stack cap. but I don't think they're going to actually stack onto one item in your bags. So, but it'll be fun. It means that because a lot of people have done math for if you want to get your rank 15, because from 12 to 15, I think it requires like 18 runs at 2 pages a drop, and people have worked out that if you literally just do your allotted runs that you need per week, and you're doing all of your daily farming and doing the like the World Quest event areas in the assault zones, you'll get just enough keys if you only do what's necessary from now on.
Nice.
It's busy,
Yeah.
but it's good.
Very.
It's a very good change, especially for allowing people to get as many keys as possible.
Yeah. Are you still? Did I hear right? Are they increasing the amount of the coalescing visions that
Yes.
that are dropping? Good. Okay. Because I was thinking having uncapped but not having as many would still not be a good
Yeah.
thing.
It's one of those things where they haven't announced how much extra you're going to get, but it's one of those things that if you set your expectations low and you get more, it's definitely going to be a better thing that's going to happen off the back of it. It's definitely good. I think it's going to be very good. I haven't had the time to run anything on alts as it is for a little while because I've been concentrating on Mythic Plus, but I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be good. Horrific Visions of Mythic Plus seem to be the expansion content to hope that's going to... I think they're trying to push to last the rest of the expansion. Like instance content, that's the words I was looking for. What do you guys think about that? Like... The fact that they're pushing more for 5-man and like solo instance content rather than open world stuff.
I don't know. Like, I don't mind it because I have a few friends to go with and stuff. Like in my small guild, I can go with them. But I'd almost rather just do like open world stuff because I love exploring by myself.
Yeah, that's fair.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it is nice being able to go up somewhere and like run into people, but you don't have to be with people. I like that at least in the instance content, they're giving us the option to solo, and there'd be more things I'd be fine with being able to solo, but it makes you feel like you're in the world, and it stops us from going back into the whole thing with the garrisons, because the biggest complaint about the garrisons is that everybody was all instance and people weren't out in the world.
Yeah, I like that too.
It's definitely good. It's definitely nice to be out in the world. At the moment, like the only time I ever really see people is obviously in the heart chamber itself, and then occasionally in Borealis or outside of Summoning Stone.
Yeah.
It's so weird in the heart chamber when there's no one there and because you're on the instance content, and then all of a sudden, boom! Everyone appears. You're like, where'd y'all come from?
Yeah, it's definitely one of those things. I don't know how I feel about it. Like, Belialar did a really interesting video this week on how it feels like WoW is moving less from a traditional MMO RPG and moving more towards an ARPG. And that's why the big focus on instance content like Horrific Visions and Mythic Plus. And it's not a bad thing. But when the whole premise of an MMORPG is to keep people in the world and have many people there, it feels a little bit strange, and has to be the way that the game has to be going towards. It's definitely a video I recommend if you've got like 20 minutes to go and check out. But it could explain why everybody's a little bit hyped for the new tower in Shadowlands. I know I myself am looking forward to it.
Oh.
Especially if it's going to be like Horrific Visions, where it's a solo or a... Because I think Horrific Visions is really the tutorial of what we're going to get with this tower.
Yeah.
What do you think, Frazley?
I'm with you that I can see people moving away, and I'm going to go out into the strange again. I think by being ARPG and instance, it gives them the ability to move to consoles or to mobile. Even if you lock the stuff, the instance content, that when you're on console you can't do the overworld. I could see them bridging out to these other things with that, because a lot of the open world stuff probably would not handle as well. But then I say that, and then Final Fantasy XIV proves us wrong with their console, and so does ESO.
Yeah, but it's very strange when you look at Final Fantasy 14 compared to WoW, because Final Fantasy 14 has got like controls built into the game because it's designed for Xbox and PS. Yeah, no, they're very good. They work very well. Now I know there are mods that they can do it with Warcraft, but they don't particularly work very well. Like, they're not built around it. And I feel like if Warcraft is going to go towards a more action RPG element, like in terms of the content it wants to give, then the combat itself needs to feel more like an action RPG as well to follow that. Because
like ESO feels really good with that, because when you're hacking, I know that they've done the test that it's not quite like Skyrim, but it does feel more impactful, not just pressing A. But
well, yeah, I mean, it's good with how characters feel, with the way that they have their different abilities, and there's obviously a rotation per character to follow, and those of us less technically skilled than those top end mythic raiders have nice add-ons to tell us which buttons to press. But it still comes down to the point where it's still an action bar MMO, and there are many combat based MMOs out there, like oh my god, I can't remember.
A Mountain Blade?
Yeah, Mountain Blade. I was more thinking of some of the Korean MMOs that have existed through time, which feel more combat based, Like, I think even... Oh, my good. What was that MMO that was made by ex-WoW devs at one point that fell apart? WildStar, yeah. WildStar was kind of like a combat-based MMO. Like...
And I found Diablo 4 when I did the demo at BlizzCon. It feels good, and it does not feel like you're just pressing different things. It felt on, and it felt intuitive. The combat... And I could see them bringing that to WoW, but then WoW has to decide what type of gameplay are they going to do.
It would require a massive overhaul of the system, I think. What about you, Panda? What do you think? Would you, if it changed to more of an action-based game, would you still be interested in it?
I think so, yeah. Like, I don't know. I find it easy for me to adapt to the changes that they've made already. And, like... Well, a lot of people complain about it. I don't know. For some reason, I find it easy for me to adapt to the change of it. So I think I could get used to something like that. I play all different games. Like, I love Diablo 3. I didn't play 2. I played the first game, which was way long time ago. But even then, like, it was such a great game. Like, I love games like that. Don't really like Heroes of the Storm kind of play.
Okay.
But, like, I don't know. I'm simple with my games.
We're all stuck in that Blizzard loop. Where we just play.
We really are. We're just like, everybody's like, oh, what's your favorite game? And I'm like,
I'll tell you what. If Blizzard bought out a Musou game and we had, like, Dynasty Warriors Warcraft... I'd be on, like, or Dynasty Warrior, like Blizzard Warriors, and we actually had like a hack and slash type thing, and we could dip through all of the different things and play everything. I think that would work. I think that would work
play
very
that.
well.
I would play the hell out of that.
Yeah. That would be brilliant. But yeah, I think that's enough of that. We'll move on to our main topic that we're going to talk about, and it's going to be essentially as we're going to talk about streaming. And streaming WoW, or like streaming in general, because Panda does more of a variety of stuff compared to myself and Frazley. I used to do a variety. I called myself a variety streamer, and all week I've just streamed Warcraft. Who would have thought it, eh? We'll start with you, Panda, as you're the guest, and I'd like to get your kind of thought process on it.
Sure.
As a streamer, do you enjoy streaming Warcraft? When you're in Warcraft, what kind of stuff do you stream? When you're not streaming Warcraft, what sort of things do you do? I mean, obviously we've talked about Blizzard games, but I think you've got the larger audience of the three of us, and how do you feel, not building that audience, but connecting to that audience and talking to that audience as you're playing the game as well?
I love playing WoW, and I love streaming it. Usually what I do when I stream it is I have like a thing that I made up called Azeroth and Chill. And it's usually like later at night when I stream it, because I found out like a lot of my friends have trouble sleeping. So I had an idea where I would just do a chill stream and I'll go like fishing, or I'll work on my professions, or I'll go out and do questing, but it's like light stuff. I don't do dungeons, I don't do raids, I just run around and do chill things, and I interact with people if they're there. And if they're not, or if they want to lurk, then they can lurk.
So
And they just chill.
something easy that's
Yeah.
easy to look at the chat for, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very easygoing stuff. I don't find that like a lot of people interact, which is fine with me. Especially if it's late at night. But I did get a bunch of compliments a couple years ago where it really started it, because it started my idea, because they're just like, oh, I'm working on my schoolwork, or I can't sleep and I'm having trouble sleeping, or something along those lines. And I was like, I think I'm gonna provide like a nice chill time for somebody, just kind of hang out.
So essentially, Lofi beats an Azeroth and chill.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, I try to turn on like the smooth, chill music that I have on my playlist. It's always the same thing. Always. I'm open to suggestions, but it's always the same chill music that I like to put on.
Azeroth and chill. Suggest me some music, chat, in with the doom metal. Mr. Frazley, you are branching out a little bit more with your other streams with Mr. Spaz Weston.
Yes.
But when you're streaming Warcraft, you have done a variety of content. And how do you feel when you're doing that? And how do you feel connecting to community that's around as well?
I like doing the content where either it's a pug, LFG, or alt leveling, because I like the things that I can kind of tune out what's in the game and just be doing something. But I'm the same way with Pandagosta, that I like the interaction. I don't do the chill side, because one, with like my shrill voice, stuff like that, I think I wake people up instead of making them feel sleepy. But I like the things where I'm able to watch chat, see what they're saying, and really interact with them. It's one of the reasons why, if I did raiding, I don't think I would stream the raiding, because one, I'd have to work with the comms and not the comms, and I'd be so invested that I would forget to talk with the chat.
I feel like I've had that as a problem today, because out of the Mythic Plus stuff, I've had a lot of chat communication. People have been jumping in. A lot of the people that we see in Frazley's Discord as well. I need to set up more keybinds to be able to mute Discord when I'm in group chat, because keeping an eye on the chat is not a problem. I've got no problem with that. It's just communicating with the chat where I'm not talking to people in a group content. I just need to set up that hotkey, which is just mute myself on Discord, talk to chat, and everything else. It's yeah, go ahead.
And there, yet like I did a raid with somebody. It was just like an Emerald Nightmare. So it wasn't high stakes, but chat felt left out when I was muting them, and you have to make chat feel included, and because I don't want them to feel like, oh, well, because I'm not in that group, I'm not important enough.
No, I get that. Yeah, I mean, I guess the question for you, Panda, with that, because that would come around, because Overwatch, when you're playing Overwatch, is something to focus on. So how do you focus on that and the chat?
I'd like to thank my ADHD for that and my multitasking, because I don't know how I do it, but like most of the time, sometimes I am guilty of like not being able to keep up with chat, especially when people are like firing like different things at me. Like someone's like, oh, go, get on the point. And I'm like, oh my God, I can't look at your chat. I'm sorry. But like most of the time when people come through my chat and I'm playing something like Overwatch or, something more fast paced, I glance over at chat. I take a breather. I do my games, and then I'm like, hey, sorry about that, and then I'll start reading chat, or I'll be like, let me catch up to chat or something.
Those spots
just to
in
make
between
them feel
games and dungeons, that makes sense.
Yeah, you gotta kind of take a breather for yourself, because I do want chat to feel included, but I'm also kind of like a little scatterbrained when it comes to those games.
I guess there is that kind of problem, especially as you get larger, I think. Because when you start getting... I think there's a definite spot between 0 to, like, I'm going to say 100, because 75 is roughly around the way for Twitch partner, yeah? So between 0 and 100, because you can have a lot of lurkers in there that don't want to chat. They just want to be around for, like, pandas chill and stream, or they just want to watch somebody level and talk with their community, or just watch somebody just do a dungeon, you know? But it's when I think when you start getting above 100 active people, and that chat is just zooming by, you can't hold a massive conversation going.
No. I don't know how people do it. I've watched, like, one of my favorite Overwatch streamers, and he'll somehow be flawless at Overwatch, and he'll also be able to mostly interact with chat, but he talks really fast, and it cracks me up. I don't know how he does it. He goes like 1,000 miles a minute. It's crazy.
I saw one that has impressed me ever since I saw them. Benny Fitz. Have you seen him?
No.
He plays as a puppet. That's his persona, and he has an active chat playing FPS games at the same time controlling the mouth of a puppet.
That's amazing. The one that I was referring to is Beef Tipsy.
Oh,
He's a Widowmane. He's so good, and he's so wholesome because he just loves everybody. He just interacts, and it's great. He's really good. So I love watching him.
Brilliant stuff. Do you guys watch? I mean, here's the big question. I mean, do you try to keep it on topic for more Warcraft based? But do you guys have anything specific Warcraft stream wise that you guys tend to watch, other than local friends and bits and pieces? Because obviously there's a lot when I'll jump into Frazley's stream and it's easy to watch him. I'd catch a Panda stream, but time zones and everything else, I've yet to find the time to jump in there. One day I'll get in there. But
yeah, it's hard to do. It's hard to do with time zones. For anything WoW related, lately I've been watching Enrage Gaming. They stream Final Fantasy, but they also stream Tom streams WoW Classic. And I love watching him play WoW Classic. I cannot stick with WoW Classic myself for very long. I get tired. I'm just like, I already did all this.
Yeah, we've had a massive conversation on WoW Classic, and I think a lot of it, at least for me, is I've done this all before.
Yeah.
And it's just, it doesn't fit in with the way that modern life works. You know, I'm not young and have time to grind that hard. Says the man who played 12 hours of Mythic Plus yesterday. Yeah, Frazley, is there anyone that you like to watch?
For me, I like to watch friends and people that I can interact with. So I've set up an iPad that I will just put on while I'm working, and it's nice having somebody there that that sound on or off. I feel like I'm connected with them, and I like the chill stuff. I'm not as much into the Overwatch or the FPS stuff. I like when they're just going through having fun. I had Michael on a while back. He was going through Warcraft 3 and just there, and it was nice to connect with them. I also like Tom. Tom did a stream where he plays indie games, and I like that because then I can get ideas of things I want to do. But WoW related, I like the stuff, and if I was awake at the time that Panda was doing the chill streams, I think I'd put those on, because there's a podcast that I listen to fall asleep, and I love this whole new idea of things to help people get their mind off of everything else, because they're able to focus on one thing, and your brain shuts off when you do that. And I love that. I love my brain just it's free to not think about anything else.
Exactly. It really helps you calm down and just kind of get in a sleepy mood almost.
Yeah.
Depending on how you react to that kind of thing, you know. So.
Yeah. No. When it comes to me, I mean, I obviously watch a lot of the Race to World First stuff on Method and Limit stuff. When it comes around, it's always very big. I want to watch and everything else. I don't really watch any more of the competitive side of stuff. A lot of the guys who I run Mythic Plus with are finding people around their similar sort of class to watch and find strats for Mythic Plus and how to play their class better. I haven't really found anything. The Demon Hunter community is weird. You know, you want to ask a chat in their Discord, and there's just an army of Pepe memes in there, so it's just bizarre sometimes. But I mean,
you mean the bird and not the frog?
No, unfortunately, the frog more than the bird.
Come on, the bird's better. Can we all just move to the bird? And
He's
I don't
way
mean
better.
and I don't mean that bird. I mean the actual Pepe bird.
Yeah.
Wow.
Otherwise, I try to catch Stonegrass when he's doing his mount runs and everything else, and I like to chat to him.
Yeah, he's a chill guy.
He's very chill. Has a decent head on his shoulders and everything else. I try to catch Final Boss. I catch more of his videos than I do his streams. Otherwise, I used to watch a lot of Towelie. I just don't have time because it's more daytime and that's during work hours and everything else. It's weird. It's an American on a UK-based hours time that I can't really catch. So there's a lot of weird stuff. There's quite a few people, but I don't really watch a lot of Warcraft stuff on when it comes to Twitch. I find, unfortunately, like it's easier for me to stream it than it is to watch it.
I agree with that. I love watching people's streams, but I feel like I don't know what it is. I just feel like it's easier for me to stream than to actually watch it. Unless I'm really good friends with them, I will totally watch their stream.
I think Frazley is literally about the only Warcraft person I'm like watching on a consistent basis.
Same.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thumbs up. I think when it comes to a lot of other people, because they ask questions what I know the answer to, but if you say the answer, and a lot of these big streamers, if you're not subbed, generally your question kind of gets ignored, and I think that's what comes when it's like a larger chat base and everything else sometimes. So
yeah,
if I can't interact, like I don't need the streamer to react to me, but if I just see the chat flying by and I know that they're probably not watching it, I don't get that connection.
Yeah, it's very weird because I'm quite sure all of us, we stream because it's fun, we do it because we like it, but there's always that backbone that we'd like to, I don't know, grow the channel, grow the fan base. If it would become a job and what we got paid to do, we'd probably enjoy it, but then there's always that worry of, and I'm quite sure I've had this conversation with you in private, Frazley, of like, if it got big, do we then lose touch with the community that we chat with? Because
it's one thing that I've tried to cultivate the community and keep it nice. I had to ban somebody this past week for being a jerk.
Asshat.
Same.
Oh. What? Oh. The swear word has frozen his camera into he's like, I'm shocked at the swear.
I'm like, oh, I can't believe you said that. My pure ears. No.
But yeah, it's weird to say. I think there are always trials and tribulations when it comes to specific people. Bots are a big problem, but then there are.
Yeah.
It's a bad thing to say, but there's always people that feel entitled, I think could be the correct word, to to feel like because they're watching you, or they may sub to you, or they're chatting, that they feel entitled to your time, whether it's in that stream that you're doing for your and their entertainment, as well as your personal time outside of that.
Yes, I run into that quite often, and it's a bit awkward for me because I'm trying to have a personal life too. And then they're just like, hey, and they show up, and it's like, please, I'm not just a streamer. I'm not a robot. I have a life. Like, I would like to do this as a job, but it wouldn't be good for my health, to be honest. And, I don't know. Leave me alone outside of my stream if you're going to be weird about it. If you're going to be friendly, then that's totally fine, but if you're going to be an asshat, as Frazley said, then yeah.
Yeah. It's very weird because I feel like you want communication with the people who want to be there and watch you, but then there is a fine line. And I think a large part to blame is social media and the way that the culture around social media has worked with everything. But it's weird, and I guess there's a point if someone doesn't know the line that you have to show them where the line is when it comes to that sort of level.
Absolutely. Yeah. You have to set boundaries for your viewers at some point, especially when they start acting like that other person was acting.
individuals. Yeah.
I unfortunately run into that more often than not, and I wish I didn't. But that's why I have an army of mods on my stream.
Well, yeah, that's
So
generally a good thing to catch that thing for
yeah,
you. Always
absolutely,
helps. Good friends
absolutely.
that the mods can generally end to be, and everything else, and strong people of your community who know what you want from your community. You know?
Absolutely.
So yeah, no, I get that. On to happier things, I guess.
Yes.
Are you doing anything? Are you looking to stream anything in the near future, guys? Other than the normal stuff, anything special? Anything you got coming up?
Poor Frazley keeps freezing.
That's a standard occurrence. I wouldn't worry about it too much.
Yeah. You go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
One of the games I want to finish is the Outer Worlds. That is amazing. It's an Obsidian RPG, and I'm enjoying it a lot. And I just need to find that time to go in and finish it. Wow, I keep taking my time. I want to be a variety streamer, but wow, I gotta work on WoW.
Personal goals.
I agree.
Oh, and
Agree.
Baz and I are doing Farming Simulator once we finish Terraria, so I'm excited for that. I've not.
You are
played Farming
literally. I like the fact that you guys are playing the multiplayer games together, but it feels like you're picking all the weird ones.
Yeah, it's the way to do it. Go for the unique ones. Go for the ones where we can still be chill.
Yeah.
You won't believe the things that go on in our streams. It's awesome.
What about
I was
you?
watching you play Terraria. That looks like fun.
Oh, Terraria,
it
yeah.
is.
It's like I was watching it. Like I haven't played Terraria since like the very beginning when that game came out, and I looked at it. I was just like, "There's so much here." They were fighting Christmas trees the other day.
Yeah. I had robotic Santa killing me.
So weird. What about you,
That's
Panda?
incredible.
You got anything coming up on your streams?
I started working on my farm in Stardew Valley, so I've been doing Stardew streams. Very little of them because I often get demanded to heal for Overwatch games.
Oh,
Because I'm also trying to get my hammer,
right.
my golden hammer. But yeah, I've been trying to like branch off and do a variety. I kind of want to do like some art streams because I haven't done any art in over a year. So yeah, it's been a
That's a
while.
good way to get back into it. Keep the streams
absolutely.
chill as well. Yeah.
Absolutely. So I've been doing that. But the Stardew thing really has like its hooks in me because my friend Justin plays. So we've been doing co-op. So we're taking care of the farm, both of us. So that's pretty fun. It's a fun game.
I've got more races with my good buddy Andy coming up. We've got a couple of things that we're looking at doing. I think we're looking at bringing it back from March. I think we're starting Hyperlight Drifter, I think is the game I've chosen. Otherwise, we've got our big charity event coming up in June. We'll be running more Sonic games and everything else, and see if we want to try and make a grand this year for charity. I think that's the goal over the weekend. We're gonna try. I think we got a good lineup of stuff that we're gonna do. Otherwise, I wanna bring this back around to what you guys were talking about with your co-op stuff, because you both mentioned that you Frazley wants to play more with Spaz. You play more co-op with your friend in Stardew. Do you find co-op streams, whether regardless of the game it is, do you find co-op streams easier to do because it's not as reliant on yourself to come up with energy or anything to talk about?
Yeah, I do. I like doing my solo streams, but I also like having like either like one friend or maybe like 2, 3, or 4 friends in Discord with me while I'm streaming, because it gives me not only like chat to talk to, but it gives me like my friends and they're around me, and it you really feed off of their energy. I think you feed off their good energy, so that just makes me feel really good when I'm streaming. It's a fun time to do that.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I personally would love to do more leveling streams, but I'm really worried that I just can't keep up a lot of energy. Like when I'm on my own. Like, it's all well and good to just have my music on, level, but even if, like, I guess that's a problem with being smaller as well, is that if you don't have the chat or the community or because a lot of my chat is American-based time, where I'm getting to know everybody through Frazley or yourself or any of the other guests that we've had on. If I stream at a time where they're not around and they're not in, then I'm literally streaming to nobody, as it were, and it's I'm not talking because there's no one to talk to in chat, or I'm not talking with anybody else, and it becomes just me on a screen, just dead, just pressing buttons to level and listen to music.
That's why I went to the standing desk, so I could stay more energetic and I can balance, because I'm somebody that likes to move around a lot. I
mean, if you start falling asleep while you're standing up, I'd be quite worried for you now. I mean,
Same.
That's brilliant stuff. Well, what do you think about the co-op side? Do you find it easier, Fraz? I mean, when it comes to your streams, like solo, yeah, you do a lot of your I'll jump in Discord and see if someone wants to join, but you have a very active chat, I've noticed, like nearly all the time.
Yes, and I am so thankful for chat. That's one thing. Anybody listening, if you're afraid to say something in any chat for a streamer, please, we encourage you, we implore you, say something, because you may be afraid, but it helps give us something to talk back to. And there's those streams where there's nobody talking, you're like, okay. Oh, interesting. I just killed this mob. Okay, I killed this mob.
I mean, that being said, there is also nothing wrong with lurking.
No, yeah. And I will never call out a lurker. If you want to lurk, that's perfectly fine.
Same.
I turn off view counts too, because like, one, I don't want to know that. I don't want the pressure of, oh, I have this many people, or oh, I have this many people. I don't want that pressure. But yeah, I will.
I've definitely had it where I've lurked in a friend's stream because I can see that he's not got any viewers, so I jump in there and I lurk just to, give him that support of having someone there. But he opens his viewer log, sees that I'm there, and just calls me out by name, and I'm like, don't do that.
Don't do that.
I hate that.
It's very jarring because I just have him on in the background, or I'll mute the tab, and just because I'm focusing on something, and it's just like a support thing. It's just it's difficult sometimes because you want to support your friends as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I will say, if you say something in chat, or you do one of the actions to make an alert, I will respond to you, but other than that, I'm not going to call you out. And sometimes during podcast recordings, it's hard for me to call you out in chat, but I am reading your chat. So this show or any show, if we're recording on Twitch, I'm reading what you're saying, even if I'm not responding to it.
Same. Yeah. I don't like calling people out in chat. I actually had a friend that I'm not friends with anymore for different reasons, but I had a friend that I would go to his stream and I would be very quiet and I would not say anything. I'm trying to lurk because I loved watching his WoW streams. And he would open up his chat and do the same thing. He would call me out and he'd be like, "How come you're not saying hi to me?" I'm just because I'm lurking.
Like the only time I think I'll call out someone who is if they're gonna do something like a host or a raid where they've done something, I'll be like, yeah, cool, thanks. Here's your shout out for that and everything else.
Right.
But yeah, just opening your viewer, your chat viewer chat, and just see who's in there is, I don't know, it's weird.
It's super weird. It's like an invasion of privacy. Like, I'll look and see who's there and I'll be like, okay, that's cool. But most of the time I just I don't mind. And, and I will not call them out. I think that's rude, especially for the people that have anxiety. Like, a lot of my viewers have anxiety and they're just like, I'm just going to lurk and I'm not going to say a thing. And I'm like, okay, that's totally fine. You do you.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's good. It's a lot of fun to definitely stream. I think it definitely builds up energy. Like it's a good way to spend creative energy. I definitely say to Fraz, when I'm trying to stream, I try to make it look as professional as possible when it comes to things. It's why I finally got used to the green screen that I've got behind me by buying a light. Frazley and his chat are happy that I have a light now.
Yes,
been bugging me for 30 episodes to get a light.
That podcast you're on, can you tell Pete to get a light? I'm like, okay, get a light. And at first, when you were lighting up the light, like, no, wrong light.
Yeah, because we were using my mobile phone light at one point, but then
it looked decent.
It looked better. Yeah. But now people can see me. It's one of those things. But it gets there. Now, like, there's stuff that I want to invest in, you know, when I can afford it, which is like a mixer, so I can do all the things where, like, I can mute Discord, lower the volume of Discord without doing everything else. But it requires certain things. And it's all stuff down the line that I want to do. But it feels difficult as well, investing in all this equipment if the stream doesn't get larger. And
Yeah.
there's no fixed way to really get larger. It's just keep doing what you're doing, and you know, just plow through. And one day you'll have that break, and everything will just pop for you.
Exactly.
I've been buying things over time. Like everything I have, it's been over a couple years of different things, and I will like 1 month not get something for myself so I can get it for the stream because I want people to have the best experience. But yeah, like you don't need all this stuff, and there's stuff that I want that I'm like I don't need that. Even though it would look really cool to have, like the pyrotechnics behind me. Like I saw one that had like fire going in behind them. I'm like, probably not a smart idea to do that.
The biggest thing I see a lot these days is the animated characters that replace like the webcams, where like they get it's not just like a head or anything, but it's a whole character, and they get it to move like speak as they do, and it's very weird, but it's also cool. Weird. It's very cool as well, like having it, but like I don't know if they did something if they did something where I could beat Anduin on stream, I don't know, I might, or Rathian, like be like I don't know, I might be behind that.
That would be really cool.
Yes, guys, this is how I actually look. I'm no longer just a dumpy guy at 5'9" with black hair and a shitty beard. I'm really Anduin in disguise. This blonde Brad Pitt looking guy in plate armor.
Have you seen the Snap camera application? I have it uninstalled right now because I just got the performance hit with virtual cameras. But Snapchat has a camera you can download for Windows. And when I had it, I was actually Sylvanas, and it changed my look to be Sylvanas. It was the coolest thing ever.
That's super neat.
That's cool. Right, I think we're coming up to the time of that hour. Wow, time just flies when you're having a lot of fun, doesn't it? It really does.
It really does. I agree.
Brilliant stuff. So, as always, Panda, for those of you who don't know who you are, where can they find you around the internet?
Well, I'm on Twitter. It's all at Pandagosa, basically. Twitter, Pandagosa, Instagram, Pandagosa, obviously my stream, Pandagosa. If anybody ever wants to find me on Discord, you can DM me and ask me. My DMs are open, and if you don't follow me, it'll go to my message request, which I check regularly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I have a blog as well. It's pandagosa.blogspot.com, and I blog about my daily life. I'm working on a Project 365 right now with photographs of my day, and also my gaming adventures.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool. Lots of places you can find Panda around the internet, guys. Mr. Frazley, as always, where can they find you?
On Twitter at Frazleytastic, where I do a poll and find out that I'm not going to be on TikTok because enough people said no.
Frazley, I'm just going to interject and be like, while I personally have got problems with it and I'll never use it myself, if you want to use it to make you feel better and it does the tools that you want it to do, use it.
Do it.
So, yeah. But yeah, where else can they find you, Mr. Frazley?
Yeah. Well, I mean, so you mean you would approve if I were to tip TikTok to Justin Bieber's Yummy?
If you put it out on Twitter, I'm sure I'll watch it because I'm a big nerd.
Okay. I think I'll move my time to things like Twitter and also a podcast every week called Frazlecast at gnome.podcast.com, where I talk with different people across Azeroth, and then you can find me on Twitch doing weird things at gnome.live.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can find me around the internet at Titans Creed on my main Twitter. You can find at Gaming Phoenix on the gaming related one if you just want updates for videos and streams. Otherwise, you can find us live doing this and You can find me doing Mythic Plus for 6 to 12 hours over on twitch.tv/Project Phoenix Productions, or you can find VODs of this and the other various things I do on stream at youtube.com/Project Phoenix Productions. Thank you very much, everybody, if you've joined us live on the cast. If you're catching the podcast or the vidcast at a later date, thank you very much for watching. As always, it's a pleasure to have you all here. Thank you very much to all of those in the live chat who have joined us while we've been recording live. Thank you to Mr. Frazley, as always, for joining me, and very special thanks to Panda for joining us this week as we talk about streaming.
Absolutely.
Brilliant stuff. Ladies and gentlemen, we will catch you next week for another episode of Stories Around Azeroth. We're coming up to that big, yearly mark, and it's quite scary. I think this is episode 40, so we're getting there for a year's worth of episodes and a year's worth of doing the cast. It's a very scary thought. So, yeah, if you want to get in touch with us, you can either get in touch with any of us on our personal social media accounts, or you can use the hashtag Stories Around Azeroth. We do check it. Otherwise, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next time. But before that, as Mr. Frazley always likes to say,
be awesome.
Yes, that's right. Be awesome, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see you next time.